we perpetually walk a tightrope. We're on the brink of bankruptcy or the precipice of blowing up within seconds of each other. Between the Lines Productions is a company that was started by my wife, Jamila, and I. We created the company in order to produce Platanos and collard greens.
Well, the vision is to produce plays that make people laugh, inspire them, and make them think. And that's really what our goal is.
It's the unity of competence and consciousness with capital.
Our objectives over the next 5 years are to a couple of things. We want to have as many people in New York see the show as possible, so we want to grow our New York business. We've been doing it for 6 years, which is really a blessing. And
we hope in 5 years to have Platanos continue to run and be running in other cities where the same issues are around, and to have figured out a way to make it accessible to students in education systems around the country, because it directly relates to their lives and can be used as a tool to educate them and to deal with the issues.
About a month ago, in fact, the Board of Ed, one of the gentlemen who works in the curriculum office came to see the show of his own accord, he and his wife, and then he said, oh my gosh, you have to get this into the public schools, because, I mean, it really hits on a lot of issues that the kids are dealing with. And it talks about, the vast majority of kids in the school system are Black and Latino, so it helps to deal with any strife that's going on there. It also just teaches them about their history, and it's a really positive show. So that gave us an entree into the public schools, and we did an excerpt for a couple of principals, and they're like, oh my gosh, so now that's become a big thing. So we are performing at quite a few middle and high schools, and we hope to continue that effort. And our second objective that we hope to accomplish over the next couple of years is to produce the play in some other markets. We've toured over 200 colleges, coast to coast, north, south, east, and west, but we haven't done any main stage productions in another city. So hopefully we'll be doing Miami, might be our first time we're doing that in February, and we're also doing performance in the Virgin Islands at their main theater venue in April. So we're excited about that, and there's a lot of possibilities there.
Yeah, I mean, there's ups and downs. My wife and I laugh. We have this joke where we're like, we perpetually walk a tightrope. We're on the brink of bankruptcy or the precipice of blowing up. It's like within seconds of each other, and so we took our own money and invested in this, and it was originally, like I said, just supposed to be for 1 weekend, and we kept our jobs, and they just kept going, and eventually we left our jobs and we do this full time. And sometimes it's more successful some years, sometimes it's less successful. And with the economy being the way it is, people can't afford to come to theater as much. Even on Broadway, they've had to slash prices dramatically. And so we constantly have to think of ways to keep it going and to be new and original and fresh. And the play is new and original and fresh. I just had a woman come see the play last week for the 3rd time, 70-year-old woman. And she's like, every time I come, it's like a whole new play. Because we constantly make little changes, to keep it fresh, and people like that. And it's the same thing with the business, constantly finding new ways to reach people. We've gone to over 200 colleges across the country. But the play directly relates to the students here in New York City. And so now we're figuring out ways to reach that population so that they can benefit from the play.
I mean, it's great. We are blessed in that we're best friends, and so we never get tired of being around each other, and that's what you would have to do because we work, 16, 20 hours a day. It's not 20, but 16 hours a day, so you have to work with someone you like. So we like each other, we communicate well, and we just like being around each other. I mean, some of the lows or challenges I would say is just you know, right now the economy obviously is very tough for everybody, and it's affecting us as well, and just continually trying to refocus, re-energize, and figure out new strategies. So, you know, if people can't afford to come to the theater, we're taking it to the schools, and then they can come to the school at a much lower price. We don't have to rent out a whole, you know, theater. So, you know, it's continually thinking of ways um, to deal with the budget. I mean, the budget is probably the biggest challenge. I mean, the other one would be managing people. Neither of us had ever managed anybody. So, you know, managing everybody's personalities and schedules and all that. But the things that we've learned are to be flexible. You know, flexibility is strength, and you know, we get advice from different people who may have been in the theater business, but in a different way than we're doing it. And they say, no, you have to do it like this, and if he's not on time, you fire him. And it's like, well, you know, that doesn't always work. And so we've learned to be flexible, and you know, neither of us really have an ego anyway, but not to have any ego and just do what's best for the play and for the business. So
it's difficult because people think it's easy, you know, and by thinking it's easy, then they want more of you, and they don't realize you're working 24/7, 365.